I haven't really invested anything lately because, like I said, I'm focusing on paying down my debt. I kind of got carried away investing in other things that pay less than the interest rate on my credit card is charging me. But I started nipping that in the bud a couple weeks ago. And I'm only investing in stuff that pays more of a dividend than the credit cards charge me interest on the credit cards. That being said, I have made an exception. I'm also investing in anything that pays more than the interest rate on my pickup truck. So I've been selling off anything that pays less than 10% in Cash App because Cash App doesn't exactly make it easy. I mean, they're easy-ish, but it's like when I get, like with Robinhood, when I get paid a dividend, I just click on View Dividend, and then I click up here in the top right-hand corner, boom, it takes me automatically to this. With Cash App, I have to manually look up every ticker. And so, it's like, I will buy something, I'll buy anything that pays more than 15% basically. My credit card is like 20, and my pickup truck is like 14 something. And so right now, like I said, 15 or better. So if a stock pays more than 15%, I'll reinvest more money. And so typically my reasoning is, what I'll do is, say the stock pays 30%. Well, I'll still only invest $20. Unless I got the extra $30, I might risk it. But my standard go-to thing is $20 minimum. So I'll invest $20 into something that pays like, say, 30%. And then, what's $20, right? If I lose $20, I lose $20. $20 is $20. And then, if I get a dividend, then I'll reinvest when I get paid the dividend. But what I'll do, instead of just reinvesting the 30% that I got paid, and it won't be 30% unless it's annual. If they pay monthly, it'll be 30% divided by 12, and then you also got to take out tax. So then you multiply that by 75 or 0.75, and that gives you about what you're going to make every month. So instead of investing that amount, like, I don't know, less than $1, what I'll do is I'll look at the percentage. If it pays 30%, then at that point, then I'll throw in $30. But like this one here, they only pay 11.5%. So I didn't reinvest, but I did, click the automatic, like, hoorah thingy, just to make note that I acknowledged this deal, but I'm not going to buy any more yet. When I buy more, it'll show up as, well, here's one that paid 18%. So I'll click on View Dividend, SVC. When I got paid, it pays 17.78%. So I rounded up to 18, and I threw in another $18 worth, got about 4 shares. So I made 60 cents on 3 shares. Next month or whatever, I'll make $1, basically. So $1 and some change. But and then at that time, then I'll look at the percentage. If it's still over 15%, I'll buy more. If not, I'll click on the Hooray automatic response. It's like a pretext automatic response thingy. And that lets me know that, okay, I've acknowledged that stock, but I'm not going to reinvest in it at that time. So here's one I just bought. It pays 23%, give or take. And so if it's 22.5 or better, I round up. If it's 22.49 or less, I'll round down. So it pays about 23%. And I just went ahead and threw in $23 because, it's only $23. But, so we'll see when or if I get a dividend from this company. And if I do, and when I do, then I'll look at the percentage and say it drops to 21%, then I'll just throw in $21. If it drops to 13%, then I won't reinvest until I get my credit cards or my credit cards paid down and my pickup truck paid off. Because basically, my credit cards are only supposed to be like my auto renewals, like my cell phone, my IT stuff, like my domain names and my servers. Anything that auto renews goes on the credit card if I can get away with it. My insurance won't let me auto renew on the credit card. Like my car insurance and my land insurance, my property insurance. They make me use a bank account. So I have a separate bank account where I'm trying to keep $1,000 in there as a buffer. And then that money automatically comes out of there so I don't have any bounce checks. And that's why I put all my auto renewals on the credit card, to keep from having bounce check fees. Now, I got carried away. I'm a lot behind on paying on my credit card. So my interest rate alone is about as bad as the bounce check fees would be. But, interest rate doesn't reflect on you as poorly as a bounce check does. So, overall, it's better to put your auto renewals on the credit card, and then you don't have to worry about bounce checks. And then, ideally, you just pay the credit card off when you get paid. But like I said, I got carried away. So, I'm in debt with the credit cards. But I'm working on it. Today, I got my mortgage bank account, because I got a bank account with the bank that I got my mortgage through. So I basically have 10% of my check go into there. And then I got a bank account, a checking account with the bank that I got my loan for my pickup truck through. And 10% of my check goes to that. And then I got another bank for the insurance company. 10% of my check goes to there. And then 10% goes into my IRA. And then 10% goes into a money market account for my my money market dividend account with Edward Jones. And basically, as I grow it'll put money back into my Edward Jones bank account, to where that 20% that's going into my IRA and into that money market account will be less because I'm getting money back from the money market account every month. So that money market account is designed basically to help me fund my IRA, so I don't have to worry about funding it out of my paycheck. The money market account doesn't pay as much as the IRA, but I can't touch the IRA. So not till I'm like 65, 70, something like that. The IRA is paying like 16%, where the dividend account is only paying 5% at the moment. And once I get it up to like 25, give or take, I have to go in and look, but on average it pays about 5%. Then once I get it built up to like $2,500 or more, I can't remember the exact number, then I can roll it over into a different account that pays on average 10%, which is on average what I'm making on my dividends after tax. So on average, I'm making about 11% after tax on my own personal investments. So once I get that Edward Jones account up to the minimum I can have in that other account, I'm going to roll it over to that other account where I'll have more money coming in. And at that point, I'll actually start having that money deposit into that checking account. And then every month, like I said, every week, I'll be putting like 10% of my check into both of those accounts. So every month, when I get paid that 10% dividend, that's less money that comes out of my pocket that goes back into that dividend account and back into my IRA. So that's basically the game plan. And then basically whenever I start living off of the dividends that I'm investing over here, and I don't have a regular paycheck going into my Edward Jones account anymore, that other dividend account will solely be funding my IRA, which will be freaking awesome. That's the game plan. So anyways, so let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 50% of my paycheck goes to making my land payment, my pickup truck payment, my insurance payment, my IRA, and then that money market account. I pretty much put most of my expenses on the credit card. So, at the moment. So, that 50% that's left over in that Edward Jones account, because I basically have my paycheck go into there. So that 50% that's left, I basically take that and divide it by 2. So 25% of my check goes into my other checking account where I use to pay my credit card, and I use to invest in these 20% or 15% or more dividend stocks. So like right now, I've got my Cash App is up to $134, and I'm basically not reinvesting with, except for like XM satellite radio. I bought $3 because the stock was down and I couldn't schedule it to sell at a higher rate. It forced me to automatically sell if I was to sell. So I bought an extra $3 because it's at 3%, give or take, right now. So I bought $3 worth to bump that bottom dollar up a little bit so that I could do a scheduled automatic sale when the price goes back up, so I get cash value like I did with NN and REIT and the rest of these. So this was a custom sale. The price went up to a certain amount and it auto sold for me. Target price was $47. That was the stock price. My price was $19.16, and then it charged me 2 cents And I'm not sure what my profit was. I don't remember how much I had in there. I'd have to actually go to NNN and find out. Let's see. So this is why I don't like Cash App, because I gotta manually look everything up. Alright. We're gonna unfollow that. See, it's paying like 4.88%. But we'll look at my history real quick. I got 10 minutes before I gotta go. I had $17 invested. So I basically made $18, or basically made $2 off of the stock. Not a big win, but again, like I said, I'm just cashing out anything that pays less than 10% at the moment with Cash App. And and I'm trying to keep about $100 minimum in each of my brokerage accounts to invest in stuff that pays more than 20 or more than 15%. So until I get a dividend from a company that pays more than 15%, I'm not going to invest anything. I'm just going to sit on it. So now that I've got all three of my brokerage accounts over $100, all of that 25% that I'm going to deposit into my checking account next week will go 100% towards my credit cards and my credit card debt. So it's basically like $250, give or take. Because like I said, I'm leaving 25% in that brokerage account for Edward Jones. So that grows every week by 25%. So even though I'm taking 10% out, so the 10% grows every week, unless I have a short week and I don't make as much money, then it kind of balances everything out. But each week I'm putting 10% into the insurance account, 10% into the land account, 10% into the pickup truck account, 10% into my IRA, and 10% into this other money market account. So soon that money market account is going to be depositing money back into my account. I take 25% and put it towards investing in stuff that pays more than 15% and paying off my credit card debt, which is 20% or more. I just made an early payment for my pickup truck, so it's over $1,000. When my buffer account gets over $1,000, then I can start doing things like paying that bill off early. So like my land payment today, I paid an extra $70 towards principal. My pickup truck today, I made an early payment. So now once I get it back up over $1,000, I can either make another early payment or I can pay towards the principal. And yeah, and of course these dividend stocks that I'm investing in, once they get big enough to where they're paying me enough money to have in this account to where I don't have to use my own money to reinvest, then I can just put all of my money towards paying down the credit cards, or at least all of that 25% every week towards paying down the credit cards. And so I'm slowly paying down my debt and slowly investing in my future. Once I get the debt paid down, then I can start investing more into my future. And once I'm debt free and I get my dividends to where they're basically duplicating my income, that's when I'm going to start investing in real estate, buying investment properties. And the investment properties is where I'm going to start retiring from and using that money to live on. Once that money starts duplicating my income, then basically once I have 3 incomes coming in, that are making me at least $1,000 a week, then I can get rid of my job. So, because I make about $1,000 a week, maybe a little more. But I got 5 minutes before my chiropractor's appointment. But last but not least, that insurance account, once it gets over $1,000, then I'll start using that extra money to pay my bills, so I'm not having to rely on the credit card anymore to pay my bills. So I'll start using that extra money from that extra 10%, and I'll start living on that 10% while I pay down the credit cards with the 25%. So there you go. That's my update for today. But I decided to let you know that I'm making progress. I'm moving forward. I just made an early payment on my pickup truck, paid an extra $70 towards principal on my land. Still got my credit cards almost maxed out, but soon I'll start getting those paid down, and I won't have those payments anymore either. So, all right, party on. Bye.